Hi there, Malcolm here with my 77th Booktube video, and today I'll be bringing you October's TBR. As usual, I've got quite a stack, so let's get cracking. First up is my book of the month, The Martian by Andy Weir. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I know the film's popular, I've not seen it, I've not read it before, so gonna give it a shot. Why not? Once I've read that, I'll then read StarCraft, Queen of Blades by Aaron Rosenberg. For those who don't know, StarCraft is a game by Blizzard Entertainment, and it's a strategy combat game, one where you've got to manage resources, build units, and go off and attack stuff. The story takes place in the Kopulu sector, where humans find themselves fighting against two alien species. The Zerg, a high species that assimilates other species and utilises qualities that they deem fit. And the Protoss, a race of technologically and psionically advanced beings, and both of which outclass the humans. The original game had 3 campaigns, one following the humans, then the Zerg, then the Protoss. And during the human campaign, one of the key human figures, the assassin Sarah Kerrigan, was captured by the Zerg, but instead of being assimilated, has been remade by the Zerg, and is now Kerrigan, Queen of Blades, an extremely powerful being who is able to lead hordes of Zerg to her own agendas. And that story plays out in the second campaign. This is the novel of that second campaign of Kerrigan, Queen of Blades. I've been wanting to read this for years. I finally got hold of a copy, so really excited to read this. I don't know if it's any good, I just really love the game. And when I finish that, I will be reading Monster by Michael Grant. Technically the 7th book of the Gone series, but book 1 of a new follow-up series. Set 4 years after the previous book, Light. This introduces some new characters and takes the story in a new direction. I'm guessing, I don't know, I've not read it yet. The Gone series was a fantastic series, which was a cross between Heroes, The Dome and Lord of the Flies. A bunch of kids were given superpowers, but all trapped underneath an enormous dome with no adults. Featuring scenes that are violent and gritty and cruel at times. I've really enjoyed the series so far, so really curious to see where it's going to go now. And once I've read that, I'll then read Indiana Jones and the White Witch by Martin Caidin. I'd previously read the novelisation of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We have 2 more Indiana Jones books that are not movie novelisations. This is obviously one of them. So really excited to experience a new adventure with Indiana Jones. I just hope it's going to be good. And once I have read that, I'll then read another adventure story, The Tomb of Hercules, which is a wild chase story by Andy McDermott. Nina Wilde is an archaeologist who generally goes off and finds really rare and unusual places, generally along the same sort of times as some evil person wants to use it for some evil purposes. And to make sure she doesn't die doing so, she's accompanied by her bodyguard, Eddie Chase, who's ex-SAS. Lots of high-octane chases, gunfights, and possible escapes, a whole load of fun. Quite silly sometimes. I've read quite a few of these now. This is book 2. So that's my main reading pile. On to the graphic novels. From the library I have Bill and Ted Save the Universe. I read and enjoyed Bill and Ted Go to Hell last month. Failed miserably to read much more in terms of graphic novels, so really want to try and finish this one now. In this one, Bill and Ted are abducted by aliens to go on a 10-year Wild Stallions tour to bring peace to the galaxy. This is the big event that seals their fate as the founders of the new civilization. And of course they're less keen on doing that because they've got their wives and their kids back home. But who cares about the plot? This is going to be silly, full of really weird jokes, and very good if you like that sort of thing, which I do, so that's nice. I've also got my Star Wars X-Wing Rogue One Squadron series to read. I wanted to read this last month, but realised I haven't got the first book of the series. After a bit of research, it turned out I do have the first book of the series, but I don't have the first story of the series. Such a thing that was never actually published in an individual book, saving the omnibus of all the books together. Well, I don't want the omnibus of all the books together because I've already got the books individually. So I managed to find it online, and so I read the first 4 comic arc, The Rebel Opposition, and so I now can move on to these. So that's what I'm reading to myself. To the rest of the family, I'm reading Storm Chaser, Book 2 of the Edge Chronicles, The Twig Sequence, by Paul Stewart and illustrated by Chris Riddle. I'm reading this to my youngest. We're a good way through it now. Should actually finish it this month if all goes well. And golly, it gets dark in this one. Wow. Really enjoying it though. To my oldest, I'm still reading African Adventure by Willard Price. Nearly halfway, taking a long time what. I've talked about these before, so I'll move on. And when I haven't got time to read 2 individual stories, I'm going to be reading Wintersmith by Terry Pratchett. This is a Discworld novel and book 3 of the Tiffany Aching series. And in this one, Tiffany accidentally catches the eye of the Spirit of Winter, who falls in love with her, bringing about an eternal winter until she goes out with him. Quite an interesting concept. Thankfully, she's helped by a bunch of pixies, the Nakmak-Feegle, but when you're only a couple of inches tall and like drinking and fighting and more fighting, I'm not sure how they can help much when it comes to love. Great series, my boys have enjoyed them so far. And to my wife, I'm reading How to Stop Time by Matt Haig, a story that follows an individual who ages extremely slowly. Born in the 16th century and only about 40 years old in appearance, we get to experience his world from his point of view. Quite an interesting read, and reads very similar actually to the first 15 lines of Harry August by Claire North. Very different stories, but quite similar as well. We're quite enjoying it, but very just got going. There we go, that's what I'm planning to read this month. Whether I'm successful or not is another matter. If you would like to share with me what you're reading, I'd love to know, so please do leave a comment in the section down below. Or what's your favourite franchise that you like reading novels from? As usual, if you have nothing nice to say, then please do keep it to yourself. Thank you. But until next time, see you later.